Welcome to our preview of the highly anticipated Premier League match between Manchester City and Chelsea. The game will take place at the Etihad Stadium, where Manchester City will be looking to close out their home league fixtures in style. The pressure is off for Pep Guardiola's men as they have already secured their third successive Premier League title. Stay tuned for all the latest updates, team news, and predictions for this exciting matchup. The citizens will be presented with the trophy after the game regardless of the result against the West Londoners, who are seeking revenge, having already lost 3 times against Pep Guardiola's side this campaign, including a 1-0 league defeat at Stamford Bridge in January courtesy of a second-half strike from Riyad Mahrez. 24 years on from watching bitter rivals Manchester United win the treble, history beckons for noisy neighbours Man City, who are on the cusp of winning 3 trophies of their own this season and etching their name into footballing folklore. Pep Guardiola has successfully steered the citizens into the Champions League final courtesy of an utterly dominant 4-0 semi-final second-leg triumph at home against holders Real Madrid on Wednesday, with Bernardo Silva, Manuel Akanji and Julian Alvarez all on the scoresheet to set up a final showdown with Inter Milan in Istanbul on June 10. An FA Cup Manchester Derby final at Wembley is already penciled into City's diary a week earlier, but they now have one trophy in the bag, with Arsenal's 1-0 defeat away against Nottingham Forest on Saturday clinching the Premier League title for Guardiola's side for the 3rd season running, a remarkable feat only achieved twice previously by Man United between 1998 and 2001 and between 2006 and 2009. Man City, who boast a 4-point lead over second-placed Arsenal and cannot be caught at the summit, are enjoying one of their customary winning runs at the perfect stage of the season, claiming all 3 points in each of their last 11 Premier League games, while their home form across all competitions is astonishing to say the least, as they have won all 16 matches at the Etihad since the turn of the year, scoring 56 goals and conceding only 7 in the process. This run on home soil began with a comprehensive 4-0 victory against Chelsea in the FA Cup third round in early January, one of 5 wins without reply the citizens have recorded against the West Londoners since losing the 2021 Champions League final in Porto. With champagne now on ice, Guardiola and co will be hoping to mark their final home fixture of the season with a victory over Chelsea before lifting the Premier League trophy in front of a party atmosphere at the Etihad. Sitting a remarkable 42 points behind leaders Man City, Chelsea appear to be heading for their first bottom-half finish in the Premier League since 1995-96 after being forced to play out a 2-2 draw with relegation-threatened Nottingham Forest last weekend. Raheem Sterling scored twice in the space of 7 second-half minutes to turn the game on its head after Taiwo Awoniyi had put Forest ahead early doors, but it was the Nigerian striker who had the last laugh as he restored parity just after the hour mark to help the visitors claim a hard-fought point at Stamford Bridge. Frank Lampard's side are still languishing in 11th place in the Premier League table, 8 points behind West London rivals Fulham in 10th with a game in hand, and the prospect of the Blues claiming any more points this term seems slim as they face Man City, Man United and Newcastle United in their final 3 fixtures. Chelsea enter Sunday's contest having failed to win any of their last 14 Premier League games against teams starting the day above them in the table, while they have lost 6 of their last 7 visits to the Etihad. Man City's only injury concern is with former Chelsea defender Nathan Ake, who has missed the last 3 games with a hamstring injury and is considered a doubt for Sunday. With 3 Premier League games in 8 days to prepare for, Guardiola is expected to make a few alterations to his starting lineup, with Aymeric Laporte an option to come into defense at the expense of either Akanji or Kyle Walker. Mahrez has scored 4 goals in his last 3 meetings with Chelsea and will be pushing to start ahead of Bernardo Silva on the right flank, while Phil Foden and Julian Alvarez are also hoping to force their way back into the first 11 after beginning on the bench in midweek. In form captain Ilkay Gundogan, who has scored 4 goals in his last 2 league games, and playmaker Kevin De Bruyne, who has registered 7 assists in his last 9 matches in all competitions, are both expected to start again in advanced roles in behind the Premier League's top scorer Erling Braut Haaland. As for Chelsea, Benoit Badiashile is the latest name to join a lengthy list of absentees after the defender picked up a groin injury in training. Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Marc Cucurella, all hamstring, Mason Mount, pelvic, N'Golo Kante, groin, and Armando Broja, knee, are also ruled out with injuries, while Kalidou Koulibaly, hamstring, and Mateo Kovacic, unspecified, are both doubtful and will be assessed ahead of kickoff. Lampard will weigh up whether to stick with Edouard Mendy in goal or recall Kepa Arrizabalaga, while Wesley Fofana is expected to replace betis in the first 11, which could also include Thiago Silva and Trevoh Chalobah should the Blues boss decide to switch to a back three. Kai Havertz, Joao Felix, Noni Madueke, Mykhailo Mudryk and Hakim Ziyech will all battle for a place in the final third alongside former Man City man Sterling, who is likely to retain his place after scoring twice last weekend. Manchester City possible starting lineup: Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Stones, Rodri, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Grealish, Haaland. Chelsea possible starting lineup: Kepa, Chalobah, Silva, Fofana, Azpilicueta, Kovacic, Fernandes, Gallagher, Hall, Sterling, Havertz. Prediction time. Our prediction: Manchester City will defeat Chelsea 3-0. Even with potential changes to the lineup, Man City's depth and talent should be more than enough to overcome a Chelsea team that is experimenting and playing for pride. Man City has a history of success in their final home league game, winning 8 out of the last 9 seasons. We anticipate another strong victory for the citizens in front of a celebratory crowd at the Etihad Stadium.
Fantastic goalkeeping to get across and deal with the danger. Playing it short. Mahrez, and the snuffing out of the cross there. An example of how to press. Now, counter-attacking possibilities here. And getting right on top of their opponents and winning it back. And Chelsea get the decision from the referee. De Bruyne.